Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're gonna take a look at the newly released Shadow variant of Garchomp in the Open Ultra League. And I can say already, this Pokemon surprised me in a positive way. I actually went way positive with this team, which is kind of wild. Of course, we have very strong Pokemon around as well, with the double here right now, as well as the good friend Cresselia in the lead there. But this team itself worked out super well, and Garchomp also did quite some work, which I didn't really expect. We have here one that is a legacy with the move Earth Power. You don't really need Earth Power that often, to be fair. Outrage would also definitely work out, but like I wanted to, of course, go for the legacy moveset here with Dragon Tail Fast Move, going to do a ton of damage. Sand Tomb going to be able to debuff the opponents, as well as we're going to have here now, in general, a team that is not an ABB team. I could have went for something like Flygon as a say-so, but that was kind of lame for me, so here we're going to go with our good friend Dubwool, which is a very strong Pokemon. This Pokemon was definitely the MVP of the team. If you can get a Dubwool, like in general, if you have a Dubwool in your inventory and you don't have the XL candy, I think it's a 1 kilometer body, and I actually think it's a 3 kilometer body, but you're going to definitely try to walk with this Pokemon because it's so worth it for the Ultra League. What an insanely strong Pokemon. But here we're going to encounter an Ampharos. We can already say goodbye to that one because it's Sand Tomb going to easily knock them out. And in comes now the Swampert again, where we have already a move stored, and we can even go for the Sand Tomb and look even at the damage. This is a Sand Tomb. It does basically usually no damage, but still gonna put them into the right health here right now. And we can just go ahead and go for another charge move and win this game. Garchomp is only available for Dragon type grunts, which you have to find in the wild. They are usually the rarest ones. I was insanely lucky, to be fair, to get one that early, especially with those IVs that are pretty decent for the Go Battle League as well, with like pretty low attack and pretty decent defense and HP stat. I'm super happy with that. Usually for those kind of events, I'm always getting screwed by Niantic and I literally take hours to get anything. But today, at least I got it after like around 45 minutes of grind, which is definitely okay. Last time when I tried to get Larvesta, for example, I didn't get a single one on day one, and now I'm at a 1 Larvesta out of 500 plus X, so that's great. It's a 1 in 100 chance, but yeah, 500x and I only have 1 Larvesta so far. Not really ideal for me, but here we're going to now see that Dubwool going to be able to get them low, and our Garchomp is going to be able to snipe them here. This is so nice for us. We're now going to see the Galissapod coming in, and this trainer, for whatever reason, still didn't know that we can now like TM the Aqua Jet away for Liquidation. I have no idea why they don't have Liquidation on this Pokemon, but we can go for 1 Earth Power, forcing the opponent to swap out, and we can still go for a Sand Tomb. And again, Garchomp is going to town here, gonna get the debuff onto the opponent, which gonna put them now into range for 1 payback. There will be, I think, some games most likely still where I have Wild Charge on my Dubwool. For the first 2 games I had Wild Charge on this Pokemon, but I didn't want to have it on there, like it just was still on there from like the team that I used prior. But for this team, definitely go for payback. Allows you to hit those ghost types a little bit harder, which is of course something very important for the coverage for Cresselia, because Cresselia cannot hit ghost types really hard. So here we're going to easily be able to win this game, and we can jump into the next one. We're going to have a Moltres in the lead. Horrific lead for us, but we're going to swap out now into our Dubwool, which is going to be able to at least hit some body slams against this Pokemon. But the opponent going to most likely run something like a Brave Bird or even Payback, which is both going to do a ton of damage. So I'm going to use my shield here to shield up the harder hitting move, as in comes a Charizard right now. This is not really ideal for us right now. It's looking pretty bad. But Dubwool, honestly, this Pokemon is just wild. You're going to be able to get the opponent super low, and we're just going to use another shield here. We are 2 shields down right now, but Dubwool going to not really care too much about it, going to farm on the opponent here with double kick, going to shake off a little bit, and now we're going to see the opponent coming back into the Moltres, allowing us to go for more body slam spam, and this is going to be super important for us. But the opponent going to decide to swap out into a Darmanitan. Want to see if it's the ice version? No, it's the fire version. Usually they're running Overheat plus Rock Slide, so I feel like I'm going to be pretty safe here with my Garchomp. Alright? Wrong. They are running Focus Blast for whatever reason. I have never seen a Focus Blast Darmanitan. I'm honest, I had even no idea that this Pokemon would learn Focus Blast. I had literally zero clue. I only knew that it would learn Overheat and Rock Slide. That's the only one that I know. Luckily, they don't run Overheat there. They only run Rock Slide. And like this, we're going to be able to go ahead and go for a charge move against the opponent's Moltres, forcing them to go for their own charge move here, which is hopefully the Brave Bird, but no, it's the Payback. So they're running double nuke, which is going to be okay for us, because you see already the weight that Dubwool was pulling here was insane. Like, Dubwool literally destroyed the opponent single-handed here, it is just, this Pokemon is just so worth it to build. Like, if you ever have any doubt, like, try to run with this Pokemon, try to get the Exile Candy. It is so worth it. It's currently available as well in Go Battle League rewards, which you definitely kind of want to get here. But here, for example, you see that's a Wild Charge version. This is actually the first game that I ever played with this team. And I had another game where I also went for Wild Charge. I think it's still coming up as well. Always, when I have my videos, those are randomized. But yeah, if you enjoy the shadow action of our good friend Garchomp here, please leave a like on the video. There's a lot to come on my channel for today especially, because we have more shadows to showcase, and we're also going to have Carbink later on, which I'm going to try to showcase on my channel as well. Carbink going to be available for everybody who bought, I think, the GoFest ticket for the global version at 5 PM local time through a research, so definitely check that out. I have to, of course, wait till 5 PM of my time. Currently it's 10 AM, so till then, I'm most likely going to make another video for another Shadow Pokemon, but otherwise, definitely stay tuned for that video coming up. Also, we had already a Regirock showcase for Shadow Regirock earlier on. Definitely check that out. That was in the middle of the night for me. Definitely check that out if you haven't seen it. I'm going to link it on the end card. While we're going to be able to farm down a Swampert here with our good friend Garchomp, what I didn't know is that we're going to lose CMP against a Charizard. I did not see that coming at all. I thought like we would win against everything CMP here, but Garchomp is seemingly losing against a Charizard, which is kind of wild to me. But now it's coming down here if we can get to the Grass Knot in time. Let's take a look at this. Blast Burst is coming through, going to do a ton of damage. We can go for the Grass Knot, but no, they're gonna get to a next charge move in time. And so we lose this game. Psych, nope, we are not gonna do that. We're gonna be able to farm them down with our Garchomp and win this game here. Good game there. Next opponent, we're going to have a Buzzwole here in the lead, which is going to be pretty decent, but honestly, my opponent plays this out pretty well, to be fair. Honestly, I was kind of surprised here how strong Buzzwole actually is against Cresselia and the 2 shields because of the debuff of Lunge. I actually thought it would still be a pretty decent matchup for me, just because I do a ton of damage with my fast move already, which is Psycho Cut and being Stab and super effective against them, plus Moonblast damage, which is going to be also super effective against them. I thought they would be still in range for me to knock them out, but after 3 debuffs of our attack, this is not the case. So here you're going to see already this Moonblast coming through, going to do not enough damage, but luckily the opponent decides to swap out here, swapping out into a Greedent. This is a huge mistake, because our Dubwool is just basically a better Greedent. This Pokemon here is now going to have the same moves that you really want to throw here with the Body Slam, but we have a super effective fast move, which is going to be super beneficial for us, as we're going to put them into range for 2 Body Slams now, and they would need 4 Body Slams to knock me out. So as you can see here right now, we need just another Body Slam in order to knock out the opponent, which is going to be super nice for us. But the Switch Dog is coming up, and they're going to swap out into their Buzzwole, which is kind of fine for us, as we can knock them out, and now in comes a Miltank. Usually Miltank is running Ice Beam, but this is not an Ice Beam, this is just a Body Slam, so they're running most likely Thunderbolt here for whatever reason. And this will allow us now to take another Body Slam here, and we can go ahead and go for the big Earth Power against the opponent. Let's see how much damage it's going to do. Boom! Does not actually knock them out, but Miltank is insanely bulky, but it doesn't matter because you can still sweep endgame here with our good friend Garchomp in this meta. Good game there. Let's take a look at the next opponent. We will encounter now the Cresselia against Virizion. Very nice lead for us. In comes the Ampharos, and they have to deal with our Garchomp now. And this is amazing, as the fast move is 4 times resisted here. We're going to be able to just go ahead and farm them all the way down. I'm still going to use a shield. This could be a Focus Blast at this point of time. I didn't want to risk it. I expected it to be a Brutal Swing, but some people, like myself, usually run Focus Blast plus Brutal Swing. But still, we're going to be able to realign, which is super important here, because our Cresselia really can deal well against the Virizion, while our Dubwool really doesn't want to encounter this one. But now we can still go for 1 Earth Power. It is resisted, but still does a ton of damage, as you're going to see Zapdos. And honestly, I appreciate my opponent, and you're going to see why in a second. We're going to be able to go for a Body Slam, which is going to get shielded. And look at this. They are running Zap Cannon on the Zapdos. I have never seen that, to be fair. But it's a cool move. Honestly, I really like to see that, but we are of course going to like to see it here soon as well, because they're going to use another shield here. Means they're going to be able to outspeed me, and now they're going to have a Zap Cannon, Shadow Zap Cannon from a Zapdos, boom, one-shotting our sheep here. But it doesn't really matter, as we still have our Cresselia available, which can go for 1 Grass Knot in order to knock out the opponent. In comes the Virizion, and we can say goodbye to the opponent. As you can go into the next game, we have the Tapu Fini in the lead. Amazing lead for us as we have grass not available for us. But in comes now the Trevenant. And this was still the time when I was running Wild Charge. And this was the game that made me decide that I'm going to swap a Wild Charge again for the payback. While the first game with Wild Charge went pretty well for me, this game here is not really looking too fine for me, because now we're going to have a grass type against us where even the Wild Shot is not doing enough damage here. And as you're going to see here, honestly, it's kind of nice. We're going to be able to get 2 shields from my opponent because they expect me to go for the payback. But sadly, I don't have payback. And you see already, I now have a kind of problem against the Trevenant. And honestly, just payback is safer than Wild Charge. There's no real reason for you to run Wild Charge. You're still going to be able to beat all the Ice-type Pokemon, for example, like the Ice-Water-type Pokemon, like Walrein or something with it. Most Flying types you can still beat. But like this, it's going to be a very tricky game, as we're going to have to rely that Cresselia can pull some weights here. But no, there is a Kovac Regus in the back. And I think if we just had a payback onto our double, we would have been able to win this game here. But we didn't, and this is kind of sad, but honestly it's more like a me issue because I didn't use payback prior. Again, like payback was not on the Pokemon before, I just thought it was on there and just went into the games, and then I saw it was Wild Charge. I think there was like some restricted meta recently where that was better to have Wild Charge on this Pokemon. But here we're going to now see still the matchup of our Garchomp against the Tapu Fini. We're gonna go first for the debuffing move with the Sand Tomb, as we can only go for 2 charge moves here and we don't get to 2 Wrath Powers, and boom, we're gonna do a ton of damage, get even the debuff here again, but sadly, while we're gonna get kind of out there, there's nothing that we can do here anymore. We were needed actually able to still pull back, but nope, that was it at the end. Still a good game to the opponent, just if I had the different move change, it would have been better for me. Next opponent, we're going to have a Pidgeot in the lead. This is not really ideal because they're going to have the option to just go straight for the Feather Dance there. Feather Dance is going to be able to debuff our attack by 2 stages, and at this point of time, I'm just going to try to get some extra energy against the opponent. In comes now another charge move. I think that's just a Feather Dance, and I make a huge mistake here on the next matchup. I should just go straight for the Body Slam, but I wanted to be fancy and just go for an extra fast move. Turns out the opponent gets to the move a little bit faster than I thought, and at this point of time, we're going to have this Grafty against us, which is really not ideal because now we're double debuffed. We didn't get the damage on the Pidgeot that we really needed to have there. We have now a matchup that I really don't want to be in there, and honestly, if I just played it better, I would have been fine here. That is my own issue again. I should have went straight for the Body Slam against the Pidgeot, but I didn't, and now I kind of get the result of that, which is just not really having the best matchup anymore. And honestly, I might still be able to win this game, but I don't really think so. I'm gonna go for the bait here just to hope that they're going to shield because I want to get 2 moves off, but nope, they don't. And I'm going to go ahead and shield up now with my Garchomp because I will get the Dragon Tail through, but they're still gonna get to a foul play, which will have done a ton of damage. In comes in the back the Obstagoon. It would have been a tricky one anyway to deal with that, but I feel like if I went for the Body Slam earlier, maybe I still had a chance like this. I'm just gonna go straight for the Earth Power to see if they're going to let this move go through just for science. They don't, and this is going to be the forfeit here. Good game there to my opponent though, still very good game. Let's take a look at the next one. We're going to see a Jellicent in the lead. We're going to be able to go for some Grass Knot damage against this Pokemon here, as you're going to do some pretty decent damage against them. I can swap out now into my double, trying to catch the move, and we cannot catch the move, and in comes is Crafty. This is not ideal for me, but I will be able to at least go ahead and go for some Body Slam spam here, as the opponent goes for the Power Up Punch. This is going to be still a closer matchup, and they might have to actually use a shield here. I'm not sure about this. Let's take a look at this. They're going to actually use a shield here already. We're going to not be able to go for another Body Slam unless I'm going to shield this move up, but I wouldn't be able to force a shield anyway, so I didn't really feel it's like would be necessary for me to do that. So now I'm going to go for the Moonblast. I sure went straight for the Moonblast here, but I didn't think that the opponent would not throw straight away, but like this, I will be able to at least overfarm to 100 energy, but we're still in a pretty tough spot right now, as they're still going to have the Jellicent with a ton of energy in the back here. And I'm going to try to get some extra fast moves through, but now they're going to go straight for the Shadow Ball most likely here. And now we're going to see a Weezing in the back end. Honestly, there's nothing I can do here. Weezing is a Fairy-type Pokemon. We have our... like, if we had Mudshot here, maybe... Nah, even with Mudshot, we didn't have a chance here. But, like, this is just going to be game over. Final game for today, we're going to have a Nidoqueen in the lead. This is going to be an interesting matchup against Cresselia. Maybe we can bait a shield out of here if we go for our charge move, because we could have Future Sight, of course. But most opponents will not expect Future Sight on a Cresselia, so... we're gonna be able to get the Grass Knot damage in, which is also pretty beneficial for me, as I can try to go straight for a charge move with my double, but they're going to make a great swap here into the Obstagoon. Or is this a great swap? Because Obstagoon going to have the Dark plus the normal typing, we're going to see here that our fast move is going to do double super effective damage against the opponent. So while our double kick is not doing as much damage as usually counter would do, it's still going to do a ton of damage here and putting them into a range where I can go for one body slam to knock them out here. Realign my Pokemon, I will be able to go for a body slam against the opponent here as well with a Nidoqueen, and I'm gonna get the shield from the opponent, allowing me now to swap into my Garchomp, which can resist those poison moves, but I have to be careful about the Earth Power. I call the bait here, which was really important as they're going to swap out now into the Scrafty, where I can now retaliate with my Cresselia, going for a Moonblast here. That's going to get the final shield of my opponent, and at this point of time, I'm not going to risk anything. I'm just going to use my shields here. I'm not just going to go ahead and go for the Moonblast. And we're going to kind of finish this game off here with our good friend Garchomp, right? So we're going to let this move go through here. We're going to keep our shield alive. And it's going to be it for this game, as I can go for one more fast move and the Phantom going to knock them out. But yeah, that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. You see two videos on the screen. One is the Shadow Regirock, which I showcased earlier. Check out this video and I'll see you later for more Shadow action and carving. So, bye bye.